Are you struggling with fatigue, maybe lack of motivation, or you're just having trouble losing weight? Have you ever thought of it being your thyroid gland? Well, watch this video and you can learn more. Hi guys, this is Dr. Brian Opp from Opp Family Chiropractic right here in St. Francis. And today I want to talk to you about New Year's resolutions and weight loss, right? It's one of the biggest things that most people want to do when the new year turns around, right? But what often happens? People have a lot of fatigue, they have lack of motivation, they maybe tried before and hit a plateau, and then you go to your doctor and they often say, well, you look perfectly fine, eat less, do exercise more, and that just doesn't seem to work. Or they think that you're depressed, right? Because you have all these things like fatigue, lack of motivation, and things like that. So this happens to a lot of our patients when they come in, and they just want to figure out what is really wrong with them. One of the main issues is your thyroid gland, right? It helps increase your metabolic rate. It tells your body how fast and slow, how hot and cold to be. So it's really a very important gland. The trouble is, it's usually not your thyroid that's the issue. The thyroid is often called the canary in the coal mine. And what does that mean? It means that something else in your body is affecting it, and it's just the thyroid that's showing up first. So a lot of times your doctor will just run thyroid stimulating hormone, otherwise known as a TSH. And if it comes back normal, that's the end of it. They don't start to dig in even more. So I'm going to go over 4 main things that really cause the thyroid to have issues allowing you not to lose weight. So number 1, stress. A lot of times they won't look at your adrenal glands and address your stress. They might address it with the antidepressant, but that really isn't addressing what's going on with it. A lot of times when you stress too much, it tells your thyroid to turn off. Why? Because it doesn't need to do what it needs to do. The thyroid helps you digest food, and when you stress, you're not really digesting. So it actually causes your thyroid to start to convert from T4 into what's called reverse T3, and that's slamming the brake on your metabolic energy, right? So we want to look at the adrenal glands and your stress hormones and address those right away. Next, toxins. When your thyroid secretes the hormone, it secretes mostly what's called T4, and that T4 then needs to go to your liver and be converted into the active form called T3. When that doesn't happen, or it gets really, really bogged down in your liver because of toxins, and medications are a toxin, so if you're on a medication, that definitely can have an impact on your conversion rate. You have the same issues as what would be with a hypothyroid patient. So we got to work on that conversion and work on that liver, right? It has nothing to do with the thyroid. Next, infections. One of the biggest infections in 95% of the world is called the Epstein-Barr virus, otherwise known as mono. So if 95% of the population has some sort of antibodies to this, if it ends up getting into your thyroid, your body still recognizes it as being foreign, and it will send antibodies up to your thyroid, creating a thyroid dysfunction. So there's where we often have our patients get the thyroid antibodies tested in them so we can make sure that they're not attacking their own body and creating an autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's. So there's where just TSH alone doesn't really help us. Lastly, this is usually most to do with females, but males are starting to have this issue too. But estrogen, right? If we become too estrogen toxic, estrogen is broken down in your liver, so you can't then do that conversion again. So we've got to make sure that our estrogen levels are in proper alignment and that we're breaking that down and clearing those out. If we don't, then once again, your thyroid is going to suffer for the increase in estrogen. So those are the 4 main things that we want to work on. When somebody comes in and they just think that their thyroid hormone or their thyroid gland isn't functioning very good. We like to look deeper into these issues so that patients can feel better, have more energy, and really get to the goals that they really want for the new year. So if you think you might have a thyroid issue, definitely give our office a call. This is Dr. Brian Opp from Opp Family Chiropractic. Hope you enjoyed this message.